Hey guys, I'm back and today we want to learn about three-point perspective. As usual, to start drawing in perspective, we need to draw the horizon line first. We'll start off with drawing two vanishing points at the top of the page and then we'll add the third one at the bottom. Three-point perspective is similar to two-point perspective. It has left and right vanishing points on the horizon line. Additionally, there is a third vanishing point either below or above the horizon line. It's very similar with what we learned in the previous lessons about two-point perspective. But the additional change is, like you can see, an additional vanishing point. So I'm drawing a center line. What we'll be drawing is just another cube. So I'm gonna draw it lower down. I'll draw 2 points on this line where my cube is supposed to be. So say this will be the top edge and this will be the top edge on this side. And then like previously, we're going to draw a perspective line from this point to this point, and then from this point to this one. So up to now, all the vertical lines that we've been creating either in 2-point or 1-point perspective were straight. They have been directly straight upwards or downwards. So what the third vanishing point does is it affects that line. So like I said, we're not going to be drawing the lines vertical. We're going to mark where we want the points. Then draw the vertical lines to the third vanishing point. As I said, the third vanishing point is mainly for the vertical axis. But instead of actually drawing two vertical straight lines, draw diagonal lines that go down to the third vanishing point. Then again, from this point, draw diagonal lines to the left and then right vanishing points. Again, to show the back planes of this cube, draw one diagonal line from this corner to the right vanishing point, and then from this point to the left vanishing point. I like to make it look more defined, so I'm using my red pen to kind of make the front lines bolder. And then I'll use dash lines for those lines at the back. Again, it's like a glass cube that we can see all the angles and corners. All the horizontal lines will be diagonal lines that go to the right or to the left vanishing point, and all the vertical lines will be diagonal lines that go to the third vanishing point. When the third vanishing point is below the horizon line, it's called a bird's view because you'll be able to see everything from above. And lastly, I like to shade the box to give it a more 3D shape. In this case, we'll probably have a light source from above hitting the object. So I'm shading these two planes on the side. Now let's draw another one, but this time we'll put the third vanishing point above the horizon line. Draw the horizon line at the bottom, and then with the distance, draw the third vanishing point on top of the page. It'll be the same as the last one, except we'll draw diagonal lines that go up to the third vanishing point. When the third vanishing point is above the horizon, it's called a mouse or ant's eye view. Some people even call it a worm's eye view, because it is actually above our eye level and we'll be able to see underneath of the cube or any other object that we're drawing in a 3-point perspective. Like usual, I use these two vanishing points on the horizon to start constructing the cube before finally dropping these vertical lines to the third vanishing point located below. Well, so far we know 3-point perspective uses 3 vanishing points. Also, this is kind of what your eye sees. All the things you see in day-to-day most of the times is in 3-point perspective. I can flip it over to the other side and it'll be kind of the same as the previous one. In this case, it's like we're having the third vanishing point below the horizon line. So what this looks like to me is it could be a skyscraper. It could be a tall building and you're on, let's say, a helicopter, or you're on a taller building and you're looking down at this. Let's move on to a demonstration where you can follow along. It's kind of like a small exercise. Okay, so for the class exercise, what we're gonna draw is a very simple chair. So I wanna be looking down on this chair. So like we said, we put our horizon line on the top and then 2 vanishing points on 2 sides of the line far apart from each other. And then one in the bottom of the page for the third vanishing point. Draw a center line as a guide. So now let's begin. So we're gonna start initially by drawing a shape like this, which will be the sit of the chair. So I want the sit to be around here. Then I'll draw these lines up, connect them to the vanishing points on either side. Then mark 2 spots on these lines on each side. These 2 points are going to tell us how wide the sit is going to be. Then again, connect these 2 points to the vanishing point on the right and then on the left. So now we've got the base of the chair. This is what we'll be seeing. The first thing is important in perspective is to kind of visualize the object you want to draw. It's going to be similar to the first example we did here in this tutorial. We kind of did the same for drawing the chair in 2-point perspective. We started the shape by drawing simple cubes. And let's add some legs. We know all the lines gonna converge to here. So let's draw some guidelines from each of these corners to this vanishing point. Then let's mark where we want our legs to be. Draw 2 here in the middle, because we can see both planes of this middle leg. Draw 1 for the left one and then the right one. Connect each of these lines to the 3rd vanishing point. And then I want to decide how tall I want my legs to be. So let's say I want them to end here. Let's draw a perspective line from this point to the right vanishing point and then draw another one to the left vanishing point to find the accurate angle. Then I want to darken the base of the legs to make them more distinguishable. So let's make the outlines a little bit darker. As you can see, we will need another surface on this side because if we're looking at the chair from this view, we're looking at this side of the chair too. So let's figure out how thick we want this side. And then again, define the height of this side of the legs by connecting 2 guidelines to the 3rd vanishing point. And this one goes to the right vanishing point and this one goes to the left one. I think I need to draw them again. I want them to be kind of thicker. About here is good, I think. Then I'll draw 2 parallel lines under these lines for the thickness of the sit. We've got our legs and now we can draw the back of the chair. So I'm going to extend this line up from this corner. And this line from the middle of this corner at the back of the chair. And then what I need is to decide where I want the top of the chair to be. I'm going to say about here. And then as I mark it, I want to go ahead and connect it to the right vanishing point. And then let's add a thickness for this part of the chair, like this one on top section. And on the side plane. And there we have it. It's done. You can try the same practice with other objects. Maybe you could use some toys to look at in a 3-point perspective as a live reference to practice. So we're done with the perspectives for now. Of course, we'll be having more practices and tutorials about them in future. Thanks for watching this tutorial and I'll see you guys in the next video.